And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
Shout out to Donatella Versace for custom making this outfit for me. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan because he's going to be taking it off of me tonight.
I really thought everyone would be celebrating Michael B. Jordan's Oscar win like it was a huge moment for everybody. But instead, people came out of nowhere saying he didn't deserve it. And the reason had me completely shocked. Some folks are seriously claiming he's not black enough, and that statement alone is wild. And it gets even messier because word is Steve Harvey allegedly shares that same energy and has been talking behind MBJ's back. Now here's where things flip because Nicki Minaj and others are stepping in like, oh hell no, you're not about to play with MBJ like that. They're not letting this slide at all, and it's turning into a full-blown situation. From what's being said, Steve has been telling people MBJ wasn't ready or wasn't man enough for his daughter Lori, and even went as far as calling the Oscar a pity award. Meanwhile, Nicki is reportedly clapping back saying Steve is just salty because his daughter lost someone who is now an Oscar winner. And listen, this whole thing is getting real messy real fast. Everyone saw Michael take that Best Actor win for playing those twins in Sinners and then casually go grab a burger right after, like it was nothing. Half the internet is celebrating like it was long overdue, while the other half is writing full essays trying to tear it down. Now people are going all in, dropping full explanations on why he shouldn't have walked away with that gold. And the biggest talk going around is that Michael only won because Timothée Chalamet supposedly fumbled everything right at the finish line. Timmy was the clear favorite for Marty Supreme until he went on CNN and started speaking down on opera and ballet, and that instantly turned into a PR disaster. After that moment, everything shifted fast. Allegedly, Academy voters started looking for a new favorite almost overnight, and MBJ was right there, polished and looking like a full movie star, ready to take it. Critics are now saying Michael basically won by default because Chalamet's campaign collapsed at the worst possible time, just before ballots were locked in. And people keep bringing up that BAFTA incident where the N-word was shouted at him, with some claiming the Oscar turned into a sympathy win because of it. Then there's the acting debate heating up too, because he played twins in the film, and now people are arguing about whether that made the role easier or more impressive, and the opinions are all over the place. Now the complaints are getting louder, especially about those twin roles, Smoke and Stack. Some people are straight up saying he didn't really switch it up between the characters, claiming it was just MBJ in two different outfits the whole time. They're arguing the twin magic came more from Ryan Coogler's directing tricks and high-budget CGI than from Michael himself. And don't even get the Wagner Moura or Ethan Hawke supporters started, because they are not holding back at all. They're convinced their favorites delivered next-level performances in their own films, but got overlooked simply because MBJ is the bigger name who sells tickets and fills seats. Then there's another wave of chatter that takes things in a whole different direction. Some people are questioning whether MBJ is black enough to represent this kind of win, which has people side-eyeing hard. The argument floating around is that he's too polished, too safe, and too Hollywood-friendly, like he doesn't shake things up enough to deserve that level of recognition. Others are saying the Academy picked him because he's easy to market and already leads major studio hits, while pointing at his co-star Delroy Lindo, who lost in his category that same night, and saying he gave the more raw and powerful performance that really deserved the spotlight. And it didn't stop there, because things got even more heated online. People started debating whether his win counts the same after his speech, since he chose to shout out his dad's Ghanaian roots and honor his ancestors, instead of focusing only on an American narrative.
I want to be working in ballet or opera or, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there.
What's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
That I don't date black women.
Yes, I'm on vacation right now, okay? I'm traveling around. Newsflash, okay? All right? Yeah, there's not a lot of black women in Italy, okay? It's not. It's just not. I'm sorry, it's not, okay? Y'all plug it. I read through the comments and shit. Y'all tearing your boy up. It's too much, man. Y'all doing too much.
And that sparked a whole new argument. Honestly, this whole situation feels like people keep moving the goalposts every time. One minute, everyone is asking for black actors to finally get their recognition, and the next minute, the person who actually wins is suddenly the wrong kind of winner. That switch-up is wild and makes no sense at all. Now, here's where Steve Harvey gets pulled into the mix, because allegedly, he's not convinced MBJ deserved that Oscar either. And on top of that, There are claims he's been making comments about the time Michael dated his daughter Lori, which just adds more tension to an already messy situation. The timing is crazy too because Michael just hit a major career peak, and now people are digging into every part of his personal life. That includes his past relationship with Lori, and according to sources, some people in her circle, including her father, are allegedly trying to reshape the story of their breakup to make Michael come off like the bad guy. Then things get even more controversial with rumors about why they split. Some are pushing the idea that Michael tends to date outside his race or chooses lighter-skinned partners, pointing to his past relationships as evidence and using that to question his image. And people didn't stop there because right after Michael and Lori confirmed their breakup to People magazine, he was reportedly seen out in Hollywood with a woman fans described as having a Kardashian-style look. One Twitter user even claimed they spotted him at the same gym, and that just sent the gossip into overdrive. So here's what people are saying happened. Michael was reportedly spotted at the gym with a brunette woman that some described as having that Kardashian-style look, which people often associate with a certain polished influencer vibe. According to those reports, the two didn't look like just casual acquaintances either, because they were laughing, hugging, and walked in together like they were comfortable around each other. That moment quickly turned into a talking point, with some claiming it was embarrassing for Lori and possibly one reason Steve Harvey held on to some resentment. Now that all of this is being brought back up again, people in Lori's circle, including Steve, are allegedly pointing fingers, saying MBJ speaks about supporting black women, but doesn't reflect that in his dating history. And to be fair, this isn't a new conversation, because Michael has had to respond to these kinds of claims multiple times before. At the same time, others are pushing back hard, saying Steve Harvey might not be in the best position to judge or criticize Michael B. Jordan, and that just adds another layer to this already heated situation. Now people are flipping the conversation back on Steve Harvey, saying he shouldn't be criticizing Michael B. Jordan at all. Some are even claiming he allowed his daughter to be around certain high-profile men for years, including Diddy, which has people raising eyebrows all over again. For those who remember, Lori and Diddy were rumored to be involved after they were seen together multiple times in places like Italy, Mexico, New York City, and Atlanta. Even though Lori denied those relationships, the situation still had people talking, especially because there were also rumors linking her to both Diddy and his son, which many found confusing. Another thing people keep bringing up is how Steve and Marjorie seem comfortable with that connection despite the noticeable age gap and Diddy's reputation. At one point, Diddy even went on vacation with Lori and her family, and they all appeared close, which only added more questions from the public. There have also been claims from interviews and online discussions suggesting Diddy had personal photos involving Lori on his phone, which made the situation sound even more intense, though these remain unverified and should be taken carefully. And just when it couldn't get more dramatic, rumors started circulating that Lori and Michael's breakup may have involved Diddy in some way. Some online chatter even suggested there was sensitive material being shared, but none of that has been confirmed, and it remains part of ongoing speculation tied to a much bigger story. Now, this is where the story takes a serious turn, because more claims started surfacing about what really went on behind the scenes. According to reports, Cassie and Michael B. Jordan allegedly had a brief connection after she discovered Diddy was being unfaithful. And as Cassie's legal situation began developing earlier than many expected, there are claims that Diddy wanted to make sure MBJ wouldn't get involved or speak up about anything he may have known from that time. The story being pushed is that Diddy allegedly showed Michael compromising material involving someone he was close to, which created major tension and reportedly damaged relationships across the board. None of this has been confirmed, but the rumors suggest it caused a serious fallout and left Michael feeling betrayed and angry. There's also talk that Michael considered speaking out about past situations involving both families, including sensitive matters that were reportedly handled privately to protect reputations. Again, these claims remain unverified, but they've added fuel to an already intense narrative surrounding all parties involved. Because of all this, some people are saying Steve Harvey's criticism of MBJ could be tied to fear of what Michael might know, while others think it's all just speculation spiraling out of control. Either way, the tension being described is hard to ignore. At the same time, Michael still has strong support, especially from Nicki Minaj. She's been vocal for years and has consistently shown love to MBJ, even going back to moments like that People's Choice Award speech where she joked about him in front of the world. She's clearly been rooting for him since the Creed era. And now she's stepping in again, calling out industry figures and backing him up as this drama keeps unfolding. And now the conversation is getting even louder because people are starting to question the timing of all this drama. Michael B. Jordan just reached a major career milestone, and suddenly it feels like every rumor, every past relationship, and every old headline is being pulled back into the spotlight all at once. Some fans are pointing out how fast the narrative flipped. One moment, it was all praise for his performance, and the next, it turned into debates, accusations, and personal attacks that have nothing to do with his acting. That switch has people wondering if this is really about the award, or if it's something deeper playing out behind the scenes. Others are calling out the constant scrutiny, saying it's unfair how quickly success turns into controversy. They're arguing that instead of focusing on the work he put in, people keep dragging the conversation into his personal life and using that to discredit his win. Meanwhile, supporters are getting louder, pushing back against the noise and saying the focus should stay on what he achieved. But with so many voices jumping in and new claims popping up every day, this situation is far from cooling down anytime soon. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more intense, the internet took it to another level. Now people are breaking everything down frame by frame, interview by interview, trying to prove their side of the story like it's a full investigation. Some are even digging up old clips of Michael B. Jordan, analyzing how he speaks, who he stands next to, and what he says about his identity, turning it into a whole debate that's getting way too personal. Others are pulling up past award wins and comparing performances, trying to argue that this moment should have gone to someone else. At the same time, fans are pushing back hard, saying this kind of energy only shows up when certain people win big. They're calling out what they see as unfair criticism and pointing out that MBJ has been putting in work for years to reach this level. And while all this is happening, the industry itself has stayed pretty quiet, which is making people even more suspicious. Some think that silence means there's more going on behind closed doors, while others believe it's just another case of online drama spiraling out of control. Either way, one thing is clear. This situation is not dying down anytime soon, and everyone seems to have something to say about it. Apparently, Nicki has been very outspoken about how the industry moves, especially when it comes to powerful figures and influence behind the scenes. Sources say she's not here for anyone trying to downplay Michael's Oscar win, and she's been calling out what she sees as unfair treatment after his breakup with Steve Harvey. There are also claims that she's of certain industry dynamics, comparing them to gatekeeping behavior where support isn't always genuine. At the same time, some of the language being thrown around online about Lori has been beehud harsh, with people questioning her reputation and talent. But others are pushing back, saying that kind of narrative goes too far. Honestly, nobody expected this Oscar moment to turn into this level of drama. But here we are, with opinions flying everywhere. Now it really comes down to you. Do you think the award was fully deserved? Or do you believe the critics have a point? And what's your take on all this talk surrounding Steve and Lori? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates like this.